What's up? What's up, Facebook? We got a big show for you today. We're here in the rainforest of the Pali Highway. This is where one of my offices is, and this is where we have our film studio. We're going into the studio right now for our Facebook Live, obviously. So I thought I would take you with me to the Facebook Live. We're just on our way. Can you get a shot of this gal walking in the rain? What the heck? Might as well. Pouring rain here in the rainforest, but such is life when you live in the tropics, right? So listen, we are going to be talking about big things here at this new segment of our TV show, the Financial Reboot Show, today. So Patrick is waiting at the studio. I got our producers at the studio waiting for us right now. I'm getting there as fast as I can because it's been raining, but there's going to be big things, and one of the things we're going to be talking about is all this crazy news cycle stuff that's going on, right? You see, look, I don't care who you pay attention to. If you pay attention to ESPN, Fox News, CNN, Infowars.com, I don't care who you listen to or why, we're going to show you how to decipher all this news bullshit and get to the stuff that matters, because, look, we don't care if Trump gets impeached or not impeached, or if there was Russian collusion or not Russian collusion, or if Hillary Clinton killed that DNC member or not. I mean, granted, all these things are crazy stuff. We just care about what is the news that's going to affect the economic markets, because that's where our clients care the most, right? Our clients don't care if we're liberal, conservative, libertarian. They don't care about anything other than taking their portfolio from $25,000 to $100,000 in 6 months, or from $250,000 to over $1 million in 8 months. That's what they care about. So it's really important on what you focus on out there, what we all focus on. Look, I've never seen a bigger time in history when people are more focused on being an armchair quarterback or an armchair newscaster in times like this, when the truth is none of this stuff matters. You guys, pay attention to what really matters to you. Like, do you really want to spend all your day paying attention to these news cycles? We got a truck up there blocking our way for some reason. Do you really care about these things? Do you really care about these things? Let the people in charge take care of that stuff, and focus on making money. Right? Focus on what's going to actually make you money in the markets, because that's all that counts. That's all that matters. They're doing some construction here on the street towards our studio, and so you can go ahead and show this if you want. And so, welcome to Hawaii. People park in the middle of the road. Thinking that that's a good place to be. Oh, now he's moving. Okay. Hawaii has its perks and it's got its challenges, right? Anyway, so we're running late into the studio to do the shoot. This is going to be a cool show, so I really want you to stick around for this, because we're going to talk about not only how this news cycle is affecting people's portfolios and people's wealth inside the stock market. Because look, in the first month and a half of the Trump administration, we made millionaires inside the stock market, right? Now we've had this sideways market in the stock market, and you need to know how to play it to your advantage so you can make some money, make big money. Actually, that's the whole point. We're here so you can make big money in the stock market and not lose money. This sideways market and all this fake news that's coming out, that's affecting your wealth. And so we're going to get into, in this episode, how to siphon through all the bullshit and get to the stuff that matters. Actually, you just become a client of ours and you'll have all the information you need. So I'm going to run into the studio, get a cup of coffee real quick. We're going to we've got about 30 seconds before I can get into the studio here. So I'm going to jump out. We'll roll a quick commercial break, and then we'll go right into the first segment with Patrick waiting in the studio for us right now. So excited for the show. Pay attention. This is the stuff that matters. How do you make money in a market like this? This is what matters when all your friends are losing money. This is the stuff that matters. My name is Samuel Levis with Financial Reboot. We're going to take a quick commercial break. I'll see you inside the studio in 30 seconds. So did you know that 1/3 of Americans don't have $500 saved up for emergency? That's crazy to me. This is crazy. Now you see on the internet all these people offering to teach you day trading, how to make money in the stock market. All this stuff is really exciting because you know that there's money to be made in the stock market. You know it. You see people like myself, our company, our clients, a lot of people making money in the stock market. They're offering you courses on how to do it. You got to learn how to do that. Watch the trade when the candlestick goes up and you do this. Who's got time for that? You've got a job, you've got a career, you've got a wife, you've got kids, you've got a husband. You've got a life. While it's great to do that, and we even put out a course on training people how to do what we do, here's what we found. What we found is that people don't have time. They buy our courses. They're great. Our courses are amazing. The problem is people don't have time to implement them. So we did something that changed the game. We're changing the game for people. What if you had, instead of a course to teach you how to do this, what if you had a very successful company that averaged over 109% last year for our clients? What if you had a company like ours just give you our stock picks right to your cell phone, our stock picks to your cell phone as they come? Now, we are not day traders. We're what's called swing traders, which is maybe 2 or 3 trades a week. So it's very casual, very relaxed, and you can make money by following our trades. That sound good? It sounds great. I know, because we've tested a sample marketplace. You don't want to learn how to do all this stuff. You don't have the time. Follow a company that's been very successful and get this for yourself. So here's what we have. On this next page, I want you to click the link below, somewhere on this video, and it's going to take you to our special offer of $7 for the first month. So you can get in, start making these trades yourself, follow what we do, test us out, kick our tires. If we're no good, no worries. If we're great and we can have the chance to change your life, it's only $7. Okay? Click the link on this video. Let's see what's on the next page. We'll see you there. All right, so let's get into our first segment. Samuel Levitz, President of Financial Reboot. Patrick Comer, Chief Investment Strategist here at Financial Reboot. Patrick, we had a big first part of the quarter with the new presidency with Donald Trump. Love him or hate him. The stock market kicked off with a huge bang. I mean, our clients made lots of money right at the onset. People in the stock market made gobs of money because of all this excitement. And things have been kind of in limbo the last few weeks inside the market. So I want to talk about, let's get a kind of an analysis of what we see in the market currently so everyone can kind of pay attention to where things are going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just been a very difficult 2 months, the past 2 months. So, you know, the strategy before was very easy, right? You just buy and hold and just ride to new highs. But now you're getting a lot of ebbs and flows in the market. You're getting a lot of risk off has come into the market. So it's very, very difficult right now to make the huge gains right now. So you have to trade according to the market, what the market gives you. And right now you're combating a couple different things. You have a very destructive news cycle out there. You have a lot of people that feel the market's overextended, overvalued. But the underlying trend is still bullish. So you still want to play it like that, but you want to be very careful. And we'll talk about later in the show how to actually address these things. But there's been a shift in the market. And if you haven't identified it, you're probably way behind the curve and you want to get up with the curve.
Now we here at Financial Reboot see this shift that Patrick just mentioned. We see a huge sell-off coming. Mm-hmm. Not just yet, however.
No.
Not just yet. So for all of you out there that are saying, I'm getting out of stock market, you're missing the timing on it.
Yeah.
We feel that that we're going to have another nice big ride, and then we'll tell you what we're going to be doing moving forward, because it's going to make a lot of our clients a lot of money. And if you follow what we're doing, we have a feeling that you will do really, really well with it as well. I mean, this is why we're in business doing what we do, right?
Yeah.
Because
absolutely,
we've been doing. I know, Patrick, we've been doing this.
This is not a call to go to cash immediately.
That's right.
You always want to. The market plays forward, so you always want to play the market forward. So what you're anticipating isn't today's and tomorrow's. You're anticipating a month, 2 months down the line, and you want to position properly. You'll get the best pricing. You'll get the best positioning that way.
So that's kind of the analysis of what we see in the market and why it's been kind of this, what we call here at Financial Reboot, a sideways market, as Patrick likes to refer to it. As if you're one of our client, you get all of our video updates from our team. Patrick heads up the entire team, sends out the weekly videos, and we like to talk about, or you like to talk about, a sideways market. In fact, why don't you just quickly tell them what that means?
Well, if you look at a chart for the S&P 500, you see we've been between 2,200 and 2,300 2,300 and 2,400. 22 to 23 was the last year.
Right.
But we've had trouble at that 2,400, and you could see even when we're filming this today. Is the day after the announcement of the New York Times article of having the Comey memo about Trump. Now, whether that's true or not, but it's caused a little bit of a sell-off. Now, it's a 1% sell-off, but it took us, if you look at a chart, it took us off that 2,400 again. We are now back into that 23 to 2,400 channel. So if yesterday when it was closing above 2,400, which it did, if you put in some long bets, you pretty much got screwed overnight. So, and there's a way to handle that though. And there's a way to play this so that you're protected on both sides. And we'll talk about that.
We're going to talk about that. In fact, we're going to talk about later on in the show this crazy news cycle. I mean, the news, whomever you listen to, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, ABC, whomever, who do you trust in terms of getting your news regarding the financial markets? Because it's important how we do our research here, whom we kind of tap into, because some people tell the truth, some people stretch it, some people are just flat out lying about different things. So what does this mean to you playing the financial markets and our customers, obviously, because this stuff matters.
You bet it does.
So we're going to get into kind of how are we playing this market in the next segment, because this is where it starts getting important. So you've seen this sideways market for a while now, the last month and a half, 2 months maybe?
About 2 months, yeah. About
2 months, which has been kind of this crazy turmoil. If you've been watching along, you understand. So now we're going to do a quick commercial. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about how we here at Financial Reboot are playing not only for our own corporate portfolios, but for all of our clients around the world and how you can leverage that. Now, what I want to talk about this show, especially at the commercial break, is we have our best-selling, what we call our newsletter service, which is where we, look, if you want to be a client of ours normally and have us on the phone and have us analyze your stuff and discuss how to take your account from here to the moon, you have to have a minimum of $250,000 just to have us work with you. $250,000 in your account to be able to trade, and you can have a Financial Reboot work with you. Now, a lot of people over the last year have been saying, man, we don't have $250,000. What can we do? So we have started what we call our newsletter service. Okay, you're going to see that in the segments, in the commercials, and how you can get that is basically everything is sent directly to your cell phone when it happens. If we see a play in gold, if we see a play in Tesla or something, whatever it's going to be, 1, 2, 4 times a week, whatever it may be, it's going to come straight to your cell phone so you can make the play yourself and never miss a trade. Pretty cool. So you'll see that in the commercial segment. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back and get back into how we are playing the market. We'll see you in just a second. So did you know that 1/3 of Americans don't have $500 saved up for emergency? That's crazy to me. This is crazy. Now you see on the internet all these people offering to teach you day trading, how to make money in the stock market. All this stuff is really exciting because you know that there's money to be made in the stock market. You know it. You see people like myself, our company, our clients, a lot of people making money in the stock market. They're offering you courses on how to do it. You got to learn how to do that. Watch the trade when the candlestick goes up and you do this. Who's got time for that? You've got a job, you've got a career, you've got a wife, you've got kids, you've got a husband. You've got a life. While it's great to do that, and we even put out a course on training people how to do what we do, here's what we found. What we found is that people don't have time. They buy our courses. They're great. Our courses are amazing. The problem is people don't have time to implement them. So we did something that changed the game. We're changing the game for people. What if you had, instead of a course to teach you how to do this, what if you had a very successful company that averaged over 109% last year for our clients? What if you had a company like ours just give you our stock picks right to your cell phone, our stock picks to your cell phone as they come? Now, we are not day traders. We're what's called swing traders, which is maybe 2 or 3 trades a week. So it's very casual, very relaxed, and you can make money by following our trades. That sound good? It sounds great. I know, because we've tested a sample marketplace. You don't want to learn how to do all this stuff. You don't have the time. Follow a company that's been very successful and get this for yourself. So here's what we have. On this next page, I want you to click the link below, somewhere on this video, and it's going to take you to our special offer of $7 for the first month. So you can get in, start making these trades yourself, follow what we do, test us out, kick our tires. If we're no good, no worries. If we're great and we can have the chance to change your life, it's only $7. Okay? Click the link on this video. Let's see what's on the next page. We'll see you there. Okay, welcome back. I hope at the commercial break that you took advantage of our newsletter service, because I'm going to tell you, if you're out there trying to navigate this stock market by yourself, chances are you're going to be one of the 96%. You're going to get creamed, especially in a market like this. So don't do that. Just become a newsletter subscriber. We've got that special offer right now for $7 for the first 30 days. So take advantage of that, because that $7 offer is only good for 48 hours. If you go to the page, you think about it, and like, God, that sounds great. You've got 48 hours to take advantage of that, and it goes away. And if it goes away, then you got to pay full retail price from the get-go. Don't do that.
I think the web team even put down a countdown ticker on it.
Yeah, so to remind you, hey, take action. Look, and the truth is this. The truth is that the people who are the most successful, that we've seen as the most successful in life, in business, careers, whatever, maybe relationships, who are they? They're the people that take massive action immediately. Let that be you, okay? Let's go into how we are playing this market, okay? Because this is where the rubber hits the road for all the subscribers and the viewers out there.
So in a full-on bull market, when you're in these massive rallies, you can play a little more free and loose. But when you're in this sideways market, you have to follow some very strict rules. And what it is, you want to protect everything you play. So you want to use hedges first of all. You hear us talk about hedges all the time. Hedges are risk-off plays. They're where people put their money when they're afraid of the stock market. Gold, playing the VIX, which is the volatility, using covered calls, things like that. So the other thing is covered calls. We just talked about covered calls. You want to start using covered calls for everything right now. If you buy a stock for the long term, get some covered calls on it. It's, if nothing else, it's easy money, small money, but easy money.
Explain to them real quick in layman's terms what a covered call really means. I think it's important.
Basically, on a covered call, what you're doing is you're taking the other side of the table on an options trade. Instead of buying a contract, you're selling a contract. So one contract is equal to 100 shares. So say I buy 1 share of Bank of America at $23. Now, what I might do is sell a covered call at a $25 strike. Now, say the premium is 5-6 cents, and what happens is I'll sell the contract. So I'm selling somebody the right to buy this share of Bank of America that I bought at $23 for $25 for me. So if that does go through, I still make $2 a share, right? If the stock just goes sideways and it doesn't go anywhere, so the person I sold the contract to doesn't want to exercise it, doesn't want my shares for $25, I obviously don't need the contract, so you let it expire. The premium, you get to keep it, and nothing happens. So remember, you made a few bucks that way.
So remember, for those of you watching at home, how did we do 109% last year in the market when everyone else, the S&P 500 did, whatever.
Yeah, I forget, 14%.
12, 14%. It's because we do what's called options, which is a highly leveraged play in the stock market, which is you can risk a little bit of money for enormous types of returns. This is how we do 12, 15% returns in a week, 40, 60%, 100%. We've done several 1,000% returns in 2-3 months. So this is why options are a huge thing moving forward, that if you're not doing them, you need to become a client of ours, at the very least at the newsletter level, so you can start playing the big boy game, the big girl game. Right?
And remember too, with those covered options, there's a third thing that can happen. Say Bank of America went down. Guess what? That contract gains value. So what I can do as the contract seller is I can spin that contract to another seller and take the profit. So you see, it's a three-pronged win. And you want to use that strategy to cover all your stocks right now. And then the other thing to remember too right now is trade the economy. Do not trade the news cycle. If you're trying to time this news cycle, you're just going to get killed because it's just too sudden and it's too vigorous, you know? And you just don't know what to believe.
That's just it. And like we said in the previous segment, we will get into this whole news cycle, what to believe, what not to believe, how to read it, so you can leverage your finances in the biggest way, because there's so much crap going on right now. It's just,
there is.
I mean, in all history of the United States of America, this is mayhem. It's crazy.
It is.
And so this is why you need a team like Financial Reboot that knows how to weed through all the bullshit and see what's real out there, so you can take charge of your finances and make sure that your accounts are going to be growing for the next 12 months instead of losing all your money like 96% of the market.
Absolutely.
Right? So we talked about hedges. We talked about hedges, what they are. We talked about covered calls, why that's important in this sideways market, what we've seen the last 2 months. And next we're going to, what I'd like to do, Pat, is let's take a quick break. I need to fill up on some water. And then I want to talk to our viewers about what we like going forward.
You bet.
Because this segment is kind of where the rubber hits the road, but I also want them to see what we like going forward, so they can take action at home, and you guys can start playing along with us. What our favorites and strategies are, and all this good stuff. Because I think that this is where people need help the most in a market like this.
Absolutely.
Where they don't know what to do. They see CNN and
it's confusing.
C-SPAN. It's confusing.
It's almost like it's built to confuse you right now.
And when there's confusion in the market, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose money because you just don't know where to put it. So this is where the team at Financial Reboot really accelerates. So let's take a quick break, and we'll come right back into what we like going forward. We'll see you in a second. So did you know that 1/3 of Americans don't have $500 saved up for emergency? That's crazy to me. This is crazy. Now, you see on the internet all these people offering to teach you day trading, how to make money in the stock market. All this stuff is really exciting because you know that there's money to be made in the stock market. You know it. You see people like myself, our company, our clients, a lot of people making money in the stock market. They're offering you courses on how to do it. You got to learn how to do that. Watch the trade when the candlestick goes up and you do this. Who's got time for that? You've got a job, you've got a career, you've got a wife, you've got kids, you've got a husband. You've got a life. While it's great to do that, and we even put out a course on training people how to do what we do, here's what we found. What we found is that people don't have time. They buy our courses. They're great. Our courses are amazing. The problem is people don't have time to implement them. So we did something that changed the game. We're changing the game for people. What if you had, instead of a course to teach you how to do this, what if you had a very successful company that averaged over 109% last year for our clients? What if you had a company like ours just give you our stock picks right to your cell phone, our stock picks to your cell phone as they come? Now, we are not day traders. We're what's called swing traders, which is maybe 2 or 3 trades a week. So it's very casual, very relaxed, and you can make money by following our trades. That sound good? It sounds great. I know, because we've tested a sample marketplace. You don't want to learn how to do all this stuff. You don't have the time. Follow a company that's been very successful and get this for yourself. So here's what we have. On this next page, I want you to click the link below, somewhere on this video, and it's going to take you to our special offer of $7 for the first month. So you can get in, start making these trades yourself, follow what we do, test us out, kick our tires. If we're no good, no worries. If we're great and we can have the chance to change your life, it's only $7. Okay? Click the link on this video. Let's see what's on the next page. We'll see you there. All right, welcome back. So we were just chatting on the break about what we're doing moving forward, and specifically about how interesting it is how the bulk of people that are investing in the stock market are paying attention to all the crap out there and how that's negatively and adversely affecting their portfolios. But we'll get to that in the next segment, as we keep saying the next segment. But,
keep watching.
Yeah, get you. So let's talk about what we like kind of starting from this point, which has been a flat, crazy what you call a sideways market and what we actually like as Financial Reboot Company moving forward and how you can take advantage of this.
Well, we like going forward. First of all, we like the news cycle to settle a little bit. And it's been very voracious. It's been very, very mile a minute. Everything is the end of the world. Everything is impeachment. There's very little mellow news right now. We think going forward, that'll tone down a little bit. So how this affects things is the Trump trade, right? Because the big question right now is with Trump, is he going to be so overwhelmed with impeachment proceedings and all these calls for the end of his presidency that he can't focus on his agenda, which is the Trump trade, right? The Trump trade is based on tax reform. The Trump trade is based on getting all these things taken care of so that the economy blows up. So this is your first clue to how to trade the market. And, do you trade the news cycle or do you trade what it's designed to fix? And that is the market. Everything this is based on, this whole Trump trade, is the economy. It's the economy. GDP growth, GDP growth, GDP growth. Now, the big question is, are we going to get that? Well, all your economic forecast numbers have shown that is starting to play true. The economy is recovering. The economy is getting robust. The job market is getting better. The unemployment number is getting better. Everything's lining up. So that's your first hint right there. Trade the economy. Don't trade the news cycle. If you try to trade the news cycle, you've seen what happens. You're going to see what happens the real hard way.
Yeah, because these last 2 months have been absolute freaking mayhem in the news. What's interesting is the news says something, the economic numbers show something completely
something totally different.
Right? So your question, you're sitting back there, most of you, 94% of you are sitting back and what are you doing? You're looking at the news. You're looking at what CNN is spouting. You're looking at what all these other news agencies are calling out, when really if you can weed through the crap and see what the economic we feel at Financial Reboot, it's just a matter of time before the financial markets cut through the bullshit and things grab hold and things start moving the way that we see them moving with the economic numbers.
And they will cut through the bullshit, and they're showing that already in today's sell-off. 2340 is the big technical level for the S&P, and it never touched that. So that tells you that the market's still confident in the economy. What it is the traders aren't confident in the market because of the news cycle. So where do you trade? Trade the economy.
And so I will tell you this, for those of you that are currently our newsletter subscribers, say that 10 times fast.
Yeah.
What you're noticing is how we're starting to play things, because if Trump gets that trade agreement pushed through, I want you to imagine for a second.
Oh, the tax reform.
The tax reform push through. That's going to have huge implications on your financial portfolio. Do you understand this? Huge. So stay positive. It's going to happen. We see it's going to happen here. Whether you like Trump or not, we don't care. We care about your financial portfolio.
Exactly.
Right? So regardless of if you're a liberal, a Democrat, Republican, an independent, an alien, we don't give a squat. Give us your blessing on your portfolio and we will take it to the moon. And so we feel that it's just a matter of time before the tax reform gets pushed through. And if and when it does, you darn well better be positioned for it, because if you're not following us here at Financial Reboot, you're going to be sorry. So, the commercials we've been talking about, our newsletter service, that is, if you don't have at least 250,000, get our newsletter service, you guys. That's the whole point. Our newsletter service can save you in this financial time and create millionaires out of you that are looking to be that, right?
And a good example is, think about this. How many news stories have you seen in the last 12 hours about this note that nobody's seen?
Oh, right?
The Comey notes.
The Comey note.
Right? I mean, it was told to a New York Times reporter over the phone. Now, whether it's true or not is not the question here. But you've seen hundreds and hundreds of bites of this news story. But did you know that Paul Ryan and the GOP leadership came out today and said, this is a problem and an issue for the Justice Department and the FBI. We are the politicians, the legislature, so we are going to ignore that, focus on the tax reform, focus on the Obamacare repeal and replace, and we are moving forward. So how many of you saw that? Because that's probably more important than seeing the 35th story about James Comey, right?
So here's the point that I would like to make leading into our next segment, and that is that, guys, I've never seen a bigger influx of wannabe politician armchair quarterbacks in my life. Look, you don't know squat about
You mean
politics.
Facebook?
Yeah, you don't know squat about politics. You have your opinions, which is great and fine, but I promise you, your life will be so much happier if you just let the politicians deal with the bullshit. Yes, you can have your positions and stances on however you feel. That's great.
Absolutely, and you should.
But don't engulf your life with all this news crap, right? Focus on your financial portfolio. Focus on where it is to where you want it to go, and pay attention to the things that are important, like hiring a team like Financial Reboot that can cut through the crap to see where the markets are really going. That's what you need. You don't need to sit here and bicker with your friends about this protest and that protest and impeach versus not impeach. Who cares about that? Don't let that affect your portfolio, guys. Trust me. While you guys are bickering about this, that, and the other thing, we're gonna be making millions and millions of dollars, and you'll be like, "What happened?" Before you know it, you'll be like, "What? Take me with you." Be careful on what you pay attention to. It's going to lead us right into our next segment, which is going to be dealing with this crazy news cycle.
Absolutely.
So I am going to suck down another gallon of water. Thank you, Pavo, for that reminder. And we're going to talk about news and how to use it to your advantage. We'll be right back. So did you know that 1/3 of Americans don't have $500 saved up for emergency? That's crazy to me. This is crazy. Now you see on the internet all these people offering to teach you day trading, how to make money in the stock market. All this stuff is really exciting because you know that there's money to be made in the stock market. You know it. You see people like myself, our company, our clients, a lot of people making money in the stock market. They're offering you courses on how to do it. You got to learn how to do that. Watch the trade when the candlestick goes up and you do this. Who's got time for that? You've got a job, you've got a career, you've got a wife, you've got kids, you've got a husband. You've got a life. While it's great to do that, and we even put out a course on training people how to do what we do, here's what we found. What we found is that people don't have time. They buy our courses. They're great. Our courses are amazing. The problem is people don't have time to implement them. So we did something that changed the game. We're changing the game for people. What if you had, instead of a course to teach you how to do this, what if you had a very successful company that averaged over 109% last year for our clients? What if you had a company like ours just give you our stock picks right to your cell phone, our stock picks to your cell phone as they come? Now, we are not day traders. We're what's called swing traders, which is maybe 2 or 3 trades a week. So it's very casual, very relaxed, and you can make money by following our trades. That sound good? It sounds great. I know, because we've tested a sample marketplace. You don't want to learn how to do all this stuff. You don't have the time. Follow a company that's been very successful and get this for yourself. So here's what we have. On this next page, I want you to click the link below, somewhere on this video, and it's going to take you to our special offer of $7 for the first month. So you can get in, start making these trades yourself, follow what we do, test us out, kick our tires. If we're no good, no worries. If we're great and we can have the chance to change your life, it's only $7. Okay? Click the link on this video. Let's see what's on the next page. We'll see you there. Okay, welcome back. We are going to talk about the news cycle that has been on everyone's mind. It's like, dude, it's like everyone is an armchair newscaster these days. Really, I mean, but here's the cool thing. It's kind of bringing people into the mix of America, and that people want to get involved, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I just think there's more beneficial and better ways to go about it, especially when talking about your finances and using the news to really leverage you to go from here to where you want to be. I think there's more productive ways to do it. Patrick, what's your stance on all this news craze?
Well, I mean, it's a vicious news cycle, and it has been since Trump got elected. And,
since before, actually.
Yeah, and even before in the campaign. And I mean, you know, it's been, you know, on the liberal side, it's been one disappointment after the other. On the conservative side, it's been one victory after another. Now the tables are turning a little bit because the liberal side has a certain amount of power within the media. I'm not going to say the media is liberal, But I will say that there's a certain amount of power to the liberal side of it, you know, and it's a very, very organized effort. You know, if you look at the New York Times, the Washington Post, things like that, Facebook, a lot of your social media are liberal. But there's a way to handle this, and there's a very good way to handle this. And it all starts with one thing: avoid social media. Which you're watching this on YouTube.
Social media. They didn't want to hear that.
When I say that, I don't mean just shut down your Facebook account, don't go on YouTube anymore. Oh my God, dude, what would life be like without Facebook, right? But look at, keep it in context, keep it contained, compartmentalize it. The problem is when you're on social media is you have your friends, you have certain ads you've clicked, you've had certain websites you look at. Facebook knows all of that. If it's all liberal orientated, guess what your news feed's going to be?
Yeah.
If it's all conservative orientated. So you're not understanding anything. You're not looking at both sides. You're not analyzing anything. You're not questioning anything. All you're doing is reinforcing your original beliefs.
This is why Financial Reboot gets paid the big bucks we do. Okay, this is why you guys pay us to do the work we do. Is, you know, I can't tell you, Patrick knows how many times we get messages at Financial Reboot from social media, from Facebook in particular, saying, "Holy crap! They're going to impeach Trump. Did you see he slept with the Russian princess? You know, who knows? Some crazy shit going on. Trump did this, and what does that mean to our guys? Where are you getting your news from? We do so much research here. We're up at what, 1:30 in the morning every day.
Every day.
Every day we're up about 1:30 in the morning watching.
Most Sundays too.
Watching the news. Not only watching the news, but weeding out, sorting through all the crap and all the fictitious bullshit to figure out what is really going to move the market. What are market indicating news pieces? And we talked about in the previous segment, trade the economy and not the news cycle. Right?
And the key to that is, just like you said, Samuel, you know, if you're a conservative, watch CNN. Watch and listen. If you're a liberal, how many times do you hear Fox News is the evil empire?
Yeah, right.
Then you should absolutely be watching it because you want to keep an eye on them, right? But you never know. You might learn something. I mean, don't contain your ability to learn like that and stifle it. So you want to watch CNN. You want to watch Alex Jones. You definitely want to watch your news feed on Facebook, but you don't want to live
Alex
by
Jones
it.
is Infowars. Infowars.com.
Yeah.
And he's an interesting one to watch. But, you know, I think this is important for the 96% of people that are out there watching. And that is that you are an armchair quarterback in your finances. You're an armchair quarterback in the news. Where are you going to focus your attention to really get, what is it you want in your life? Do you want your portfolio to go from 100,000 to $1 million? Do you want your portfolio to go from 5,000 to 100,000? Or do you want to pay attention to the news?
Right.
I mean, you can't do both.
Or do you want to debate Trump's impeachment with a bunch of people that are just like you that believe he should be impeached?
We don't give a squat either way.
That's not much of a debate.
We are impartial about the news here because our job here. Look, while we are really great at picking stocks, we've done it for a long, long time. Our main job is research. Is research. How do we sift through all this craziness, all this fake news out there that everyone's calling fake news, which it is. It's crazy, actually.
There is a lot of fake news.
But how do we sift through it to get to understand what is real that is going to affect the economic numbers that 96% of you will never see this. You will never see what we see because you're too focused on what's right in your face on a daily basis.
See the forest for the trees.
Right?
Yeah. And if I may add one more thing, Samuel, and this is a little deep. I want to point out something that happens, especially with the younger crowd, with cord cutting. Cord cutting is a dangerous thing. Okay, yeah, it's good. You know, you're getting away from the TV. Everybody, what do we call it back in the Mom's Best Babysitter, the TV back in the 60s and 70s?
Well, why are you asking me? Why are you asking me? You're the old guy around here. What did we call it? Hey.
Yeah. Well, I can remember Mom.
You had black and white TV,
and leaving me there with that electric company in Sesame Street and God knows what else.
I did have electric company. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
But you know, look, the cord cutting is dangerous because when you cut the cord, are you watching CNN? Are you watching CNBC? Are you watching Fox? No, you're probably, if you've cut the cord, watching three things: Facebook, Twitter, and Netflix, right? So cord cutting is dangerous too. Just make sure on that web browser you have a nice variety of news services. Even if you don't agree with them, watch them.
Or I would even recommend don't watch any of them.
Or don't watch anything. Just subscribe to the newsletter, sign up to be a client, and we'll watch for it.
Look, this is starting to piss me off. I mean, we could talk about fake news till we're blue in the face. And look, you guys have us because you don't want another job, right? Watching all this news and deciphering what's real and what's not real, that's a full-time job in my opinion, with so much crap coming at you. Don't do that. For $7, you could become a client of ours in the newsletter service now, right now. I mean, it's $7, you guys. That's the price of one of those Starbucks things in a fancy cup.
Yeah. And I had a very close friend yesterday call me up, almost immediate anti-Trump guy. And you know who he is. But he called me up right after that news came out about the Comey memo.
They know who he is?
No, we don't want to we don't want to liberal shame him like that. But he called me up and he started this blah 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 about Trump, and I was laughing really loud, and he said, "Man, doesn't it bother you, you know?" And I said, "No, I don't care. This whole political scene is so entertaining that it's the best entertaining I've seen. There's nothing on Netflix, there's nothing anywhere that can entertain me like this thing. I don't trade Trump. I trade the market. I trade the economy."
Bing, 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 bing.
But I will tell you what, nothing more impressive than watching how they parade out, impeach, you know, and then the other side comes out and they, no. And
yeah, they're obviously not focused on making money like we are.
And if you notice something too, where's Trump in all this? You know, he gave a speech at the Coast Guard this morning, barely mentioned it, hasn't said anything, you haven't seen him tweet. Is he getting a little more refined? Is he getting better? See, these are the questions you want to ask, not, oh, when are we going to impeach him? Well,
so the reason Patrick is going into a minor political rant here, I think, other than he had too much coffee, is because you haven't had a cup of coffee here at the studio.
No,
yet.
I haven't this morning.
Oh, maybe that's the issue.
Probably is what the problem is.
Maybe that's the issue. It's because I had a really good point here a second ago. I'm sure it was really smart, something really, really smart. Well, look. What are you going to be paying attention to? We don't care about politics. We only care about the politics that are going to affect the economic numbers that in turn affect our portfolios, our wealth, our client portfolios, and our clients' wealth. That's all we care about. Now, granted, we don't want people killing each other and blowing stuff up, but the point is that how do you weed through all this stuff we're talking about with this fake news and media and all that stuff? How do you weed through? You don't weed through it. Stop.
Don't weed through it.
Just
there you go.
Stop. Go enjoy your life.
Enjoy your life.
And click, for God's sakes, click the button below and get our freaking newsletter for $7 and enjoy the freaking ride. Yeah. Let Patrick, Samuel, and our entire team handle what you cannot do, what you do not want to do, what you do not have the skill set to do, like we do for 109% last year, cumulative over last year's
and
period.
I still got all my hair, and I don't have bags under my eyes, and I'm not stress wrinkles, so. And nobody on our investment team is.
You would never guess that he's 97 years old. You'd never guess.
July, I'll be 98.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. So did you know that 1/3 of Americans don't have $500 saved up for emergency? That's crazy to me. This is crazy. Now you see on the internet all these people offering to teach you day trading, how to make money in the stock market. All this stuff is really exciting because you know that there's money to be made in the stock market. You know it. You see people like myself, our company, our clients, a lot of people making money in the stock market. They're offering you courses on how to do it. You got to learn how to do that. Watch the trade when the candlestick goes up and you do this. Who's got time for that? You've got a job, you've got a career, you've got a wife, you've got kids, you've got a husband, you've got a life. While it's great to do that, and we even put out a course on training people how to do what we do, here's what we found. What we found is that people don't have time. They buy our courses. They're great. Our courses are amazing. The problem is people don't have time to implement them. So we did something that changed the game. We're changing the game for people. What if you had, instead of a course to teach you how to do this, what if you had a very successful company that averaged over 109% last year for our clients. What if you had a company like ours just give you our stock picks right to your cell phone, our stock picks to your cell phone as they come? Now, we are not day traders. We're what's called swing traders, which is maybe 2 or 3 trades a week. So it's very casual, very relaxed, and you can make money by following our trades. That sound good? It sounds great. I know, because we've tested a sample marketplace. You don't want to learn how to do all this stuff. You don't have the time. Follow a company that's been very successful and get this for yourself. So here's what we have. On this next page, I want you to click the link below, somewhere on this video, and it's going to take you to our special offer of $7 for the first month. So you can get in, start making these trades yourself, follow what we do, test us out, kick our tires. If we're no good, no worries. If we're great and we can have the chance to change your life, it's only $7. Okay? Click the link on this video. Let's see what's on the next page. We'll see you there. Okay, well, there you go. There's our segment for today, May 18. And look, there's big stuff going on in the market, and things are starting to bubble in a way that makes a lot of sense. If you've been watching us and paying attention, this, what we call here at Financial Reboot a sideways market, is just about to take a turn for the better. Are you positioned? Really, it's a question. Are you ready for this? Now, our clients are ready because they've seen this sideways market. They've been watching these ebbs and flows that have been stemmed from all this crazy media hysteria. And we've been able to weed through that to really look and see what's real and what's going to affect the economic numbers. And it's coming. It's coming really, really soon. Are you ready? Are you a client? You know, through this segment, we've talked about becoming, just get the dang newsletter. Look, right now it's $7. It's still $7 for the first 30 days. Look, 30 days for $7. Use the trades. They're going to come right to your cell phone. It's good for anyone in the US and Canada. International people, sorry, we don't have it set up for you right now, but if you contact us and you want it, we'll figure it out for you, okay? $7, get the newsletter. There's going to be a link under this video, and watch what happens.
And our newsletter subscribers cashed in 166% today.
Did you hear that? Our newsletter subscribers today had 166% realized. Apparently they sold. Our newsletter subscribers sold, had 166% gain in how long?
9 days.
In 9 days. Not too shabby, right? 166%. Are you listening? So get the newsletter. Link below. We'll be back next week for the next episode. In the meantime, you guys, as we always say here at Financial Reboot, what do we say? Make a difference. We'll see you next week.